Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we've held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Just like 25-year-old Dalton Faulkner. Inside of the fourth row, Mickey Steele, the man of steel, out of Pollock, Louisiana, in the car number 5X. Bobby Jordan, the police chief, out of Texarkana, in car number 17, JT Turner, in 35S. We're live on RaceOnTexas.com and on demand. Every thrill and spill and every burn and turn tonight. 10 laps of distance in heat race number 1 for the factory stocks. We're underway from Gene Motors Ark-La-Tex Speedway, the land of the 3-wide, where the racing is serious and business will pick up and go 4 and sometimes 4, and we've seen it even 6-wide here, baby, as we're already going 3-wide. Out front with the lead early is the 17 of Dylan Duas, will roll through 3 and off of 4 with the race lead. Dylan Duas leads lap number 1 tonight here at Ark-La-Tex. 4 wide down the front straightaway into turn number 1. 4 wide into turns 1 and 2. Here comes the man of steel, Mickey Steele, living up to the moniker. Down the back straightaway, Mickey Steele working the wheel and working it well. He'll hold the hub and smash the throttle off at turn number 4. Down the boulevard into 1. For all of you folks who are watching live tonight on Race on Texas, y'all give us a share or just tell the folks what you're doing tonight. If they're not at the racetrack, tell them to support folks that support dirt track racing. As we're down the back straightaway into turn number 3. More or less, don't rely on and a shot in the shorts by Smith, and around Dakota Wyatt was rolling through the center of the corner and straightened him back out. Speaking of the C3 car, Craig Pursley Jr. Pursley got railroaded as here comes Steele for the race lead. Mickey Steele, a feature race winner this season at Thunder Valley Speedway. And his Durance Lane Street stock as well has a factory stock win at the Showtime Speedway in Mania, Louisiana. He'll roll to the race lead in 5X. Threw the keys on the counter, too. When he got out there, he's starting to check out on them. In turns 1 and 2, it'll be Mickey Steele from Pollock, Louisiana. Down the back straightaway. Also, real quick reminder, just remember you're pressing record, remember that you're doing on demand too. Anyway, down the front straightaway. And the 1, the 5X of Mickey Steele, marching to the beat of his own drum. The 17 of Dylan Duas, as here comes the 15X of Dakota Wyatt. Dakota Wyatt looking good tonight. From the tail, ladies and gentlemen. Trying to get himself a bushel full of passing points. It won't be necessarily where they finish. It'll be about how many cars they pass to get to where they finish. As they go 3 wide off of turn number 4, back here for the 4th position. Down the boulevard, back into 1. So again, folks, no cars will lock in here. It'll be how the passing points would lock the cars in. I'm not sure exactly the number which we'll take right now. I'll find that out here in a moment. So it's all Steele out front, minding his own business in the 5X car. The 15X of Dakota Wyatt is stalking him. I'm telling you right now, if Dakota gets a caution, he very well may have an opportunity to set the bar from heat race number 1. He's gone from dead last to second. A stellar, just an impressive performance for the young man who went up and down the road and helped out Cade Dillard and his USMTS modified program several seasons ago. This youngster's only been racing now for about 4 or 5 years, but doesn't get up here and race very often. One of the very few rare drivers I have seen get up and throw a slide job on Justin Whitehead, hold it, and win a heat race at this racetrack. May not have the prettiest car, but pretty never went fast, as he's got that Edwards Racing chassis built by Daryl and David and Roger Edwards, hustling off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway for the final time. In the 3 and 4 for the final time, the Kenny Crawford's checkered flag tonight in the Kenny's towing flag stand. How about it for Mickey Steele from Pollock, Louisiana, your winner of heat race number 1. From the tail to second, Dakota Wyatt dominates the field except for Steele, and he'll finish second. Dylan Duas is the third in the 17. One to watch, folks. Keep your eyes on the Ford-powered J27 out of Calhoun, Louisiana. Last year's Pelican winner. Scotty Case starts shotgun. Can he do it? Dakota Wyatt just did. Lights are out. We're ready to play for 10 more circuits. Here we go. They'll hustle off into one on the start. They'll go 3 wide for second momentarily. Oh, right in front of the field goes the 14. And the rest of the field's a victim of circumstance. Hold the phone, folks. As Cody White not going to get the caution flag that he so desires. As TJ Evans is out front with the race lead. The 14 of Walter Hamilton nearly set up a donut shop and corralled it, but here comes Scotty Case now. Down the back straightaway in the turn 3, Scotty Case picking them up, putting them down, got a shot in the short there through the center point of 3 and off of 4. Vandiver puts the bumper to him. Jeez, I don't know about that there, big fella. Into 1. Vandiver and J27 of Scotty Case going neck and neck here for 5th down the back straightaway. TJ Evans still leads here at Ark-La-Tex in heat number 2 of the night. Factory Stock 50, 6th annual event underway here from Gene Borders Ark-La-Tex Speedway. Justin Whitehead at the helm, and I'll tell you what, Cody White. Telling you, Dakota Wyatt set the bar, but I'm telling you, J27 of Scotty Case duplicating it, but he's got 2 more spots to go to get to where Wyatt was to match the passing and finishing points. Into 1. Here comes Scotty. Old Scotty. He's been pretty hot this year as the 14 lost it. Here comes Scotty Case the second. The Ford-powered J27. Hello, how you doing? Sit down, take a seat. Hello, and goodbye. Bubba McEachern gets disposed of pretty quickly here tonight. Into 1. Case. Right when I get to talking so good about Dakota Wyatt, Scotty Case has stormed out of this one like gangbusters. Only 5 laps in, and he's worked his way all the way to the bridesmaids' honors. He works his way off of turn number 4. It's just a matter of time. Tick-tock, the race clock goes, but Scotty Case, here he comes for the race lead. Scotty Case digging like Darrell tonight. And from the tail to the race lead comes Scotty Case in J27. Wow, what a performance. He'll slide up in front of the nose this time, and Evans back on the throttle, but no one has nothing. Nathan for the J27 of Scotty. First name Scotty, last name Case. Making a case for it tonight that he may have the baddest hot rod of the bunch. But boy, I tell you, we're only 2 heat races in. And if you've got a quick car, then you can find the lane and you can get there. From worst to second in heat number 1 for Dakota Wyatt. From worst to the lead for J27 of Scotty Case. Holy smokes, race fans. It's 1.5 laps to go when he meets the midpoint of the back straightaway. I got to settle down a little bit here. As we roll off of 4. The white flag out from Kenny Crawford. Rolling off of 2 down the back straightaway into turn number 3 on the final circuit of this one. Calhoun, Louisiana racer, marching to the beat of his own drum. He says, "We'll holla at you fellas later." At Ark-La-Tex tonight, domination in heat number 2, presented by Thompson Motorsports. Scotty Case. Well, there'll be no cigars. It wasn't even close. Oh boy. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't like what you just saw, then guess what? Speedway and area racetracks is Josh Ellender in car number 50. Dylan Alasko, the 20-year-old out of Huffman, Texas, in car number 41. Cody Myers, who's on a hot streak, won 2 straight at Boot Hill in car number 81. Awesome Andrew Rossum in car number 92 are underway at Ark-La-Tex. Heat number 3. Murderers Row. 76 of the finest factory stock competitors have checked into the speed plant tonight. And into turn number 3. Here comes 32. Brandon Brown. What can he do for you? Into 1. Stalking the tire tracks of your race leader here off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Austin Waters, 2 good friends. They battled up front at 67 not long ago. And Brandon made a little bit of a slight contact with the tail tank of the youngster out, or I say the youngster, but the young man out front of Austin Waters, and ended his night early. That was just about a month ago or so. Nonetheless, Brandon gave him all the parts to fix that hot rod. As right now off of 4, Austin Waters, who began his racing career about 4 years ago rather. Hasn't raced much over this last season or so. Just has not raced much. But when he is back in the cockpit, picking up right where he left off. He'll roll off of 4 with the race lead, this time underneath the flag stand. Into 1 he goes. The 32 of Brandon Brown in hot pursuit. Club 20 and Neil Kemp. Again, the 2017 winner of this event. Here comes Brown to the inside for the race lead. Can't quite get the job done, but now he'll feel the pressure. Austin Waters feels the pressure. They're rolling the 3, all tucking around the hub of the Ark-La-Tex Speedway at this juncture of the night of action. We're 3 heat races, half in the books anyway. There's 5 in, 5 laps to go of heat number 3 of the night. 76 of the finest factory stock competitors have checked in to battle for $4,000. That hangs in the balance for Justin Whitehead's 6th annual Factory Stock 50. Live on RaceOnTexas.com on a very warm night here in July. Down the front straightaway. It's tighter than the top string on a Texas fiddle right now. As I'd certainly like to see is starting to test the middle lane of the racetrack, but I think it'll widen out throughout the night. This place never, and I feel pretty good about saying never, because I don't believe in jinxes, I only believe in Jesus. This place never locks down around the bottom. If it locks down anywhere, it would lock down up top. Too early to be talking all that mess. So in the 1. Right now, though, they're tippy-toeing around the hub of the racetrack. Down the back straightaway, it's still Smooth Waters out front with the lead, holding off his good friend out of Hooks, Texas, Brandon Brown. Brown continues to stalk his tire tracks, just cannot quite find the mustard. Can't find the momentum to squirt by. The Club 20 and Neil Kemp will now go to work. Neil Kemp, the opening night winner of the Boot Hill Speedway in Greenwood, Louisiana, and the 32 just washed up there off of exit, opens up the door for Club 20 to walk through the threshold. Neil Kemp will walk through, and he'll take that spot away and sidestep the 32 of Brown, and he'll battle back to his inside. Down the straightaway, Brown, that time, had it by half a cat's whisker into 1. Brown trying to get back what he feels like is rightfully his. He's had it for the entirety of this race, and he took it. Says, look, I love you, Neil, but sit down, please take a seat for me. When Neil won this race at Timberline 2 years ago for $5,000, he was driving the car of the 32 of Brandon Brown. He was driving for Brandon that night. So some respect being shown there a little bit. If you don't believe me, go look at his Facebook. Anyway, we're getting ready to rock and roll off of 4. It'll be Brian Mewburn who puts his foot through the firewall off of turn number 4. Hustling off into 1 and 2 on the start. Here comes Jody Prince. JP going to jump and grab 3rd down the back straightaway. Dylan Adams cannot rely on that outside line momentum. And sliding in front of his nose is Jody Prince. Lockie drove it deep off there into the corner. As we head down the front stretch into 1, Ingles already picking them up and putting them down from the tail. Can Ricky Ingles do or duplicate what Scotty Case has done? Case and Wyatt set the bar tonight from heat 1 and 2. As Brian Mewburn going to chrome and stroll across the line to lead the first couple of circuits here in Vivian tonight in heat race number 4. Heat race number 4 underway here at Ark-La-Tex. David Edwards trying to hunt down Brian Mewburn. The battle, though, all eyes back here for the 4th spot right now. The top 3 separated by about the same distance, but this battle is a log jam from 4th on back. Adams just washed way up the racetrack, pushed like a dump truck, and look out off of 4. Carver coming through. Taylor Carver coming through quick, fast, and in a hurry in the 340. More contact with the 248 of Adams as Hare having trouble tonight in car number 85. Here comes first name Ricky, last name of Ingles. You know it's an Ingles, and you know he's going to start working and getting his way towards the front. It's about time, Ricky says, that we get this thing on a rail. A year ago at this event, Ricky set quick time and time trials and had a provisional into the main event as he will roll his way up to the 5th spot from the tail. He's already disposed of 6 of them. He'll keep chipping away, and he'll go to work on the 7 of Kelly Lockie out of Tyler, Texas, who sits 4th into 1. The 10P of Jody Prince stalking the tire tracks of the D3 of David Edwards as he's 2nd, as he cannot get up there and contend with the race leader in the 36 of Brian Mewburn. We roll off of 4. Mewburn not sweating any bullets to this point tonight. Feeling pretty good about himself into 1. So the top 3 cars separated by the exact same distance on the racetrack, and one little bobble, one little difference could be the separation here tonight. As Mewburn continues to lead off of turn number 4, Carver just got loose, lost the handle there off of turn number 4, but he goes through the infield Dukes of Hazzard style. It's still Brian Mubern out front with the lead, but Jody Prince taking stabs underneath the D3 of Edwards. David Edwards, the very versatile racer at Natchitoches, Louisiana. And also the versatile shoe out of Sibley of Jody Prince. The pair of Louisiana natives hustle and try to run down the Texan who hustles his way off into one for the final time. It's Flying Brian, living up to the moniker. He flying tonight down the back straightaway. As the 81's advances finally came to a halt, as Ingles, though, worked his way up to the 6th spot. Checkers are out for your winner, Brian Mubern in 36. D3 of David Edwards and the Allen Crawfish ERC Racing Chassis D3 comes home in the bridesmaids. The 10P of Jody Prince will come home 3rd with Kelly Lockheed grabbing 4th. So a good old Fagan in car number 13X. Jacob Wilburn, last year's hard charger in the 10,000 win King of the Hill, came from 25th to 4th. Jacob Wilburn in car number 66 from Highlands, Texas. Rollo Pilkington in car number 22. And Chris Hennigan in car number 100. Joshua Martin, one of the top 8 cars that locked into this show a year ago. There's a bunch of great cars starting near the back, folks. Keep your eyes on Hennigan as well as Rollo Pilkington. We're underway down the back straightaway. 3 wide for second on the start. In the 3, Dustin Yount driving the former 36J car owned by Whitehead off of 4, trying to work for the race lead. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. He'll roll into 1 and 2. Speaking of Yount, down the back straightaway to the inside of the 24 for the race lead of Tyler Morgan. Morgan continues to hold him off. Look at Rollo, just drove the car all the way into downtown Blanchard. My mistake, he about ended up in Atlanta, Texas. Blanchard's the other way. And the 22 car going to cost him. And he'll come to a screeching stop at the top of side of number 2, and we'll get a caution. Driving that outlaw race car. Jody Davidson to his outside. We're getting ready to go back green get the party restarted. It'll be up to Morgan to light the candles. We're back underway. Oh, come on now. Oh, boy. Look at this. They wrecked 100 times down the front straightaway. Jacob Wilburn ain't going to take that for too long. He'll be 100 underneath the collar here in a matter of moments. Yeah, the front end's broke on that car now. Off of turn number 4. Here comes a Yount to the inside for the race lead. The 90 of Davidson washed up a little bit too high, wide, and handsome there off the exit. And here comes Paul Lopez in there. How about it, folks, though? Grandma's quilled over the top 4 right now down the back straightaway. In the turn number 3, Jody Davidson going to go way up top the racetrack that time. Or keeps her down to the inside. The track will definitely widen out throughout this program. They're going to start rolling that middle here in a minute. We're going to have us a beautiful racetrack here in Vivian tonight. So down the back straightaway, Morgan trying to fend off the 5's hard charge of Paul Lopez as he is flanked to his inside by the 90 of Davidson. Jody Davidson is still just not quite been able to find it in this factory stock program, as he has been on point in the limited modified for a couple of seasons straight here. The former open wheel modified ace, Jody Davidson, slides up in front of the 5 car. He takes it, and here comes Hennigan. Chris Hennigan, making contact down the back straight with the 88M of Josh Martin. Josh Martin in the 88M car, one of your top 8 cars that locked into last year's Factory 50 here at Ark-La-Tex. He was rolling quick, fast, and in a hurry early, but he's lost some spots here during this green flag stretch, as it's Chris Hennigan, who's living up to his moniker. And he's rolling his way up to 4th now. May run out of time to get this win, but he is undoubtedly coming. The Marshall Texan Chris Hennigan won last night's A-main event at the Showtime Speedway for $1,500 in his open wheel modified GRT race car, as he will set his sights into turn number 3 and try to use the outside line momentum to his advantage. Not quite working, though, as Paul Lopez is going to look to sidestep him off of turn number 4. 2 to go for Dustin Yount, who's out front, minding his own business in 007. You know, I got to say that as we go 3 wide for second down the backstretch, here comes Hennigan. This is about to be a lot of fun. I'll tell you about that other part later. Into 3, the 90 of Davidson gets a good run off of 4, relegates the 24 of Morgan and the 5 of Lopez. The white flag is out. Oh, boy, he just drove the car all the way from the roof all the way down to the basement there. The 90 did. Nearly chopped the nose of the 24. Here comes Hennigan. Down the back straight of the 100, going to throw his hat back into the ring for the final time through turns 3 and 4 to the checkered flag. It'll be 007 of Dustin Yount, your winner. And to the line, the 90 of Davidson will snag 2nd. Morgan with a great run holds off the 5 of Lopez with Chris Hennigan in 5th. Texas in 101. TJ McCarty in 35M, Ronnie Collins in the M50, Lou Lyles in the 125, Marcus Full Throttle Cottle in 13, Brian Cook in 100. Here we go. Into 1 and 2. Sean Graham had a good hot rod at RPM Speedway over in Crandall, Texas the last couple of nights and had to go home to the Heartbreak Hotel as he suffered a very rare disqualification last night. And look at this. Oh, my. Little John Tuggle just got pushed, and they're 4 wide down the front straightaway. They're 3 wide and 4 wide. Look at this. It's a log jam into 1 and 2. Look out. Tuggle tried to squeeze it. Couldn't find it. They're busier than a sailboat crew working in a tidal wave over there off of 2. Down the boulevard into 1. These dudes came to race tonight. The M50 of Collins just lost it right in front of the 9 car, and he monster trucked him. They keep her strolling and rolling. So Sean Graham marching to the beat of his own drum as working his way through the lap track with the M50 of Collins now. Down the front stretch into 1. Keys trying to keep him honest in car number 35. Lou Lyles has worked his way to 3rd in the 125 car. 3 laps to go. Sean Graham won the 3rd annual Battle Royal Thursday night. And again, he was heartbroken last night. Said it on his Facebook post. But I talked to him personally. As the green yellow is on, we will stay green. This time by off of turn number 4 to the white flag for Sean Graham from Shreveport, Louisiana. The owner of Hitman Designs and the WW Timber Pro 1 transmission sponsored J&J Motorsports number XXX Rocket. As Craig Oakes from Marshall going to work with the 125 of Lou Lyles to his inside. As down the boulevard, off of 4 to the line. Your winner, going to go to the XXX is Sean Graham from Shreveport. Justin Collins in the 0 tonight at Cleveland, Texas. Inside of 3, the 1T is Richard Tubbs. Jake Gentry in the 55J. Inside of 4, JT Garland, last week's overall top qualifier in the factory stocks at Boot Hill. Skeet Amison in the F5 and a new Boston. Brian Prim in the 26 and the Atomic Race Car at Adam Roy out of Red Lick, Texas in 2. So Brian Prim starts at the tail with Adam Roy in the 2. We're hustling off into 1. Into turn number 3, the 12 of Bo Perry. Jumps out front early with the race lead in the Laser Chassis house car. Father Glenn builds these cars, fabricates them out of their shop in South Bossier City. And I'll tell you, they've really been coming on, giving the Outlaw chassis a run. As down the back straightaway, last night's winner again at Showtown Speedway, Bo Perry. If you're ever thinking about having a cold or a nice margarita on the rocks or a frozen one, go see my boy Bo Perry on a weeknight at Superior Bar and Grill, because on the weekends he's cutting his teeth at the dirt tracks. Around goes the 55 of Gentry. No harm, no foul. He'll keep her rolling and strolling. Send him to promoter school. Off of 4. Battle for the race lead. Here comes Tubbs, and we got all kinds of carnage at the tail of 4. And then these guys are synchronized spinners. They're just... Whitehead must have told them if they come out with a caution by themselves, they're going to have to get black flagged. I'm not sure. It certainly looks like it. We had 1 caution all night long. The 1T of Tubbs going to the inside for the race lead of Bo Perry. Been very rare for Bo Perry to get run down and disposed of. And Richard Tubbs right now showing some strength. Down the back straightaway, Richard Tubbs will throw the 12 into his hip pocket and sidestep him to go to the race lead. Hey, kids, I need y'all back away from the fence. Yeah, I don't play that. I need y'all back away from the fence, please, kids. Oh, come on. Hey, kids, please get away from the fence. Thank you. For your safety, I promise. I don't mind if you hang out up there during the cautions, but during the green flag, just for your safety, please. Thank you so much. I'm not so sure that they can hear me, but it'll work. So Richard Tubbs off of 2 down the back straightaway, separating himself from the 12 of Bo Perry, Josh Daughtery, and the James River Restaurant Classic Auto Repair 34 Junior car. Trying to keep up with that momentum and confidence that he picked up winning over Whitehead at Boot Hill a couple of weeks ago. Sits third. Being stalked by the Zero Machine into 1. Of course, Justin Collins. Justin Collins, the very versatile racer, also a limited modified competitor. Hustling off into 1. Behind the deck lid of the 34 Junior of Daughtery, the top 4 separated themselves and broke away from the rest of the field of competition. Last weekend's overall top qualifier after the passing points heats at Boot Hill, JT Garland. Trying to roll to him, but he's going to run out of time as the white flag waves this time. I want to say hello to a good friend, Marla Green, watching live tonight on Race on Texas, scorekeeper of the KMO Regional Points. Missed y'all 67 this week, but look forward to the next one as the 1T of Richard Tubbs dominates this one. Disposes of the 12 of Perry, puts him to second. Great performance by Richard Tubbs. Winner. Inside of 3, it'll be Doug Vick Jr. in car number 54. Ben Tinneman in 57. Mark Grenier in 93. And Jody Davidson in 90. Lights are going to go out. We're underway off of 4 this time. Right down the boulevard they head into 1. It's going to be tough sledding for Ingles out front from the outside front row. But I'm going to certainly love to see these limiteds get up there and test the outside of this racetrack. Oh, yeah, this track's going to be really good tonight. It's shaping up. Folks, if you're watching live on Race on Texas, y'all tell your friends, don't rely on a Facebook live video. You can't see the great racing. It's nothing like being here in person, but you can certainly see it better in high definition. Off of 4. The 1996 Southern United Professional Racing Series late model ace, or champion rather, of the 81 of Ingles, the 61-year-old brother to Doug Ingles, down the back straightaway. Ricky Ingles has been stellar all season long here in the Ark-La-Tex in his limited modified program. Last year, he was not quite as dominant as he was in the factory stock, won the most of any driver in the factory stock division. This year, he's come out strong, just super strong in the 81 for Ingles this season in his IRP race car. He was tied last weekend at the Battle of Boot Hill with Kel Westover and Dylan Spear for the most points overall after 2 rounds of qualifying heats. As Abear, who finished second to Dylan Spear in that main event, is way behind nearly an entire straightaway in the car number 9. Kelly Lockey just acquired this number 91 IRP race car from Craig Oakes, traded all of his sprint car stuff with Craig straight up for this IRP chassis number 91, as the very well respected and accomplished racer out of Tyler, Texas, Kelly Lockey, looking to get ran down here by the 90 of Davidson. Davidson, though, washed up there off the exit, went a little too high, wide, and handsome there off the exit of corner number 2. The white flag waves just like that. Jumping jack flash. We are about to be into the history books for heat race number 1 of the night here at Ark-La-Tex for the limited modifieds. My apologies for not giving you that lineup there, folks. Was taking care of something real quick. Is the 23 of Cliff Tupper Jr. Cliff Tupper, his son Cody was driving this car last night at the RPM Speedway over in Crandall. But Cliff back in the saddle of his Western Flyer racing chassis with a CB power plant built by CB Bruton, barking like a big dog underneath the hood. That best engine also barking like a big dog underneath the hood of that AB Performance Bubba Green Towing B17 of the freight train. Brandon Ball, here he comes. The former Spooky 50 winner and the former Tootsie Smith Memorial winner, Brandon Ball, has really started to regain his confidence that he admitted to me in Victor Lane that he was starting to think, could he still do this prior to winning at 67 Texarkana Speedway about 4 or 5 Friday nights ago. And it came in here, won at Ark-La-Tex at our second to last event that we had here, as the freight train from Farmville, Louisiana, knows the quick lane around the lane of the 3 wide, and he is showing right now as he continues to try to hunt down the 23 of Cliff Tupper Jr. for the race lead. To the white flag this time by for the 2015 Louisiana State Dirt Track Championship winner, Cliff Tupper Jr. So Tupper serving what's for supper right now. He'll roll through turns 3 and 4 to the checkers this time. And a stellar performance holding off the B17 of Brandon Ball, the 23 junior. Cliff Tupper Jr. wins it. Ball again second. The 37 will snag third. Is that Garrett Higgins? Yep. Garrett Higgins is here tonight in car number 37H. He grabs the third spot. Inside of Honeywell, it'll be car number 81 of Kyle Ingles out of Bossier City. Inside of 3, welcome back to the saddle again to Corey Grigsby. Corey Grigsby in car number 99 out of Marshall. David Anderson to the 0. Brian Matyear in 50, and Chris Kuhn in Triple C. And losing the handles, the 11S of Jesse Sharpley on the entry to turn number 1. And he'll get it refired, and we'll stay clean, and we'll stay green. So tough break for Sharpley, who has not raced. It's been a little while. The former factory stock driver moved over to the limited modified division several years ago, but again, he has not raced, but just, I'd say, maybe 5 times in the last 2 years. But off of 4, this time down the boulevard into 1. It's Cody Tupper. Tupper with a win a season ago in 2018 at the Boot Hill Speedway as he washed up there off the exit of the racetrack. Here comes Kyle Ingles for the race lead. Down the back straightaway, Kyle Ingles in 81, going to try to even the way with him. Ingles, no relation to Ricky or Jason or Doug. But Susie, like Susie said last week, she said we adopted them, though, as family. So in the 1, oh, Corey tried to thread the needle and work and dispose of the 81 and just flirted with disaster up there to the top side of turns 1 and 2, nearly slipped over the embankment. Here comes T. Honey now. Off of 4, down the boulevard, they head back into 1. David Anderson will throw his hat into the ring now, the Huntsville, Texas racer. The Alpha 2 down the back straightaway. David Anderson going to work. He'll punch the time clock and try to roll across the number 58 of Honeywell off of 4. Honeywell having a hard time getting off the exit. Back into 1. Tupper has now found his niche around the racetrack, and he is setting sail. Cody Tupper doing just like Pops did in the previous heat race. Cliff Tupper checked out, and it's Cody Tupper from the outside pole. With 2 trips to go here at Ark-La-Tex on a hammer-down fast racetrack at this point. Ingles lost some ground there. Here comes Corey Grigsby down the back straightaway. The brother to Derek Grigsby. Off of turn number 4, Corey Grigsby has only raced 4 to 5 times as well in the last 2 years. It is always great to have Corey Grigsby on hand. Told me it's like riding a bike. You don't forget. He said if I could just have a little bit better luck tonight, looking like he's having a little bit better luck, he'll take home a solid 3rd place finish with Ingles in front, and your winner goes to the 23 of Cody Tupper. Taylor Carver from the pole position takes the green off of 4 here in heat race number 1 for the hobby stocks. Showtime Speedway promoter Jeremy Dillard just walked in the booth here. I guess he came to say hello. What's up, brother? Pretty good, brother. Hope you had a good show last night. We'll talk about it in a minute as we got one around at the bottom of turn number 4 here But no harm, no foul. We'll stay clean and green. As down the back straightaway to turn number 3, the 40 of Taylor Carver. Going to march to the beat of his own drum and jump out front with the race lead. Will slide up to the top side of exit and relies on some momentum down the front stretch to keep him, propel him out front with the race lead. Brad Calhoun goes to work, though. Here comes Calhoun. The two very versatile drivers down the back straightaway occupy the top 2 positions in this one as they send them off through turns 3 and 4. Here comes Patrick Lynn, showing that he has still got it. Patrick Lynn drove that Skyrocket chassis, open wheel modified, for quite some time around Arkansas and the Ark-La-Tex, of course, and never seen him in one of these stock cars, but he's showing right now that, hey, he can do it just like said about Corey Grigsby. It's like riding a bike. Down the front straightaway into 1. We're 4 in and 4 laps to go with this 8-lap affair here for the 6th annual Factory Stock 50. Off of 2 down the back straightaway. Lynn going to try to take advantage and use the lap traffic as a pick. He'll go to the low side of the Ark-La-Tex Speedway as the 3 washed up there, and off of 4 they go 3 wide through lap traffic. Oh my. The 15 of Brad Calhoun certainly didn't think better of it. But the 26 will go by and grab the bridesmaids down the back straightaway. The 40 of Carver now comfortably out front setting sail. It'll see 2 laps to go this time by. Kevin Atkinson in car 47X. Odie Futrell in 24D. JT, James Thompson at 85. 2 wins this year for him. David Ratliff in the 189. Jay Watson in the 61. And Gage Raines in 31. So off of 2 down the back straight with the J3 of Jimbo Jamie Clayton. Diamond off the exit of corner number 2. And disposed of Tracy Corp. So into turn number 1. Into 1 to 10, going to work the hub and not work it so well. Brandon Jarvis gets disposed of. 2 go right by to the race lead. The 35 of Garrett Hatfield. Hatfield driving one of Justin Whitehead's outlaw chassis fabricated out of that shop in Hooks, Texas. As Jamie Jimbo Clayton in the Punisher chassis number J3 goes to work. To the inside, he tries to come for the top spot, but Hatfield too strong up there in that middle lane. It'll be 3 laps scored into the history books this time by 5 laps to go. Hatfield trying to slam the door shut on the face of the J3 of Clayton. Clayton will go to the inside for the top spot, and he caught some dig right there off the exit of corner number 2, and he quickly propels his way to the race lead, relegates the 35 to 2nd. Jamie Clayton trying to hold off the 35 of Hatfield, who is coming back and trying to give him heck for the top spot. Hobby Stock Racing been outstanding over at Texarkana on Friday nights, and Justin was really excited to add those guys to this year's racing program for the Factory 50. So we got a pretty solid field of them. I mean, 20 of them, you can't shake a stick at it for the first time they've been here in a long time. As down the front stretch of 2 to go. James Thompson, all eyes there. As Hatfield has allowed the J3 of Clayton to skate away. Oh, and the 10 car just punched a pair of skidder tires, Kevin Rogers style. Final trip into turn number 1 to the white flag, the J3 of Jamie Clayton. Has made no errors, cool as ice, no mistakes here. Into turn number 3 for the final time. The driver of the Punisher Racing chassis number J3. Texarkana Jimbo Jamie Clayton scores the win. Second, we'll go to the Outlaw number 35. Best engines entry of Garrett Hatfield. And the 47 to grab third, Kevin Atkinson.
But just, hats off to everybody that's been supporting us this year. Can't thank them enough.
That was a perfect segue right there. They do need to come down there and support you a little bit more. They've been doing their best, though, on Friday nights. We're ready to go with Evan Moore. I meant to give you the lineup. It's Evan Moore with Kyle Cummings in 29C, Bradley Barnes in car number 30, Robert Graham Jr., Vance Coleman's in car number 75, Kevin McCoy. I like to see Kevin McCoy here, one of the Chatham cars. Heath Thompson, Caleb Dillard, the Robolane Rocket. The lights are obviously out. Off into one and off of two down the back straightaway. Caleb Dillard picking up and putting them down. He's up to the fifth spot down the back straightaway into three. How far can 97 come? Out front right now, it's Kyle Cummings. The first ever super late model race held at this racetrack was won by the driver out front with the race lead out of Sibley, Louisiana, the son of the late, great Rusty Cummings. It's Kyle Cummings. Kyle Cummings in the Cameron Pate Motorsports number 29C car tonight. He gone. Out front with the lead, but here comes 36 of Kevin McCoy. Kevin McCoy may be one of the best B-Mod or Pro Mod drivers in the state of Louisiana. Not many times you can go over to Chatham Raceway on a Saturday night. Surprisingly, he's not there tonight. But surprising, Kevin McCoy doesn't walk away with a victory. It's a shocker to a lot of folks. Watched him pick up a lot of wins as I was a youngster at the Webster Speedway. As I think he's got something now for Kyle Cummings. Keep in mind, Kyle Cummings has not raced hardly at all in the last 3-4 years. Just sparingly, maybe 5 or 6 times. Into turns 1 and 2. Cummings. Again, showing, though, that it is, once you got it, you've always got it. Into 3. It'll be 2 laps to go, this time by underneath the flag stand. The white flag is out for the final trip into one for Sibley, Louisiana's Kyle Cummings. 36 of Kevin McCoy. Trying to hunt him down, just couldn't get the job done. The 30 of Bradley Barnes. Having a respectable showing here, sitting in third, but he's being pressured by the 22 of Robert Graham. Final trip to the checkered flag. Your winner goes to the 29 of Kyle Cummings. Speedway in car number 4. Inside of row number 4. The 16 of the Gentle Giant. Jason Beasley in 16. Michael Knighton, the Nightmare. This is the toughest heat race I've seen in this class, I think, ever. We're about to find out. We're underway. This is a tough heat, dude. Into turns 1 and 2. It'll be Doug Vick Jr., who will set sail, the 2-time reigning Boot Hill Speedway Pro Mod Track champion. And again, the 5-time champion here at Ark-La-Tex. It's weird. And Mike Washburn drove underneath the fuel cell, the 16 of Beasley, on the front straightaway. As Beasley started at the tail of this one. I don't think Mike is too excited right now. Maybe a little hot underneath the collar. Bockham had a run coming there through off of turn number 4 and just lost all that momentum as they nearly tagged the wall. Hustling off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. The 25 of Josh Bockham given HELL for the second spot from Robbie Hickman. Can't muster up enough at this juncture, but here he comes off of turn number 4. Oh, my. Yeah, Mike Washburn ain't too happy with the slide jaws being thrown on him by the 16 of Beasley. He just did it again. Washed way up the racetrack. Off of 2 down the back straightaway. Mike Washburn about to give him a shot in the shorts. Here she comes. Into turn number 3. And off of 4, here comes Mike to the inside for the spot in the 16 of Beasley. Up against the wall. Tries to roll to the outside of the 96 of Knighton. Knighton now will keep his car right there to the middle lane of the racetrack. Washburn can't seem to find the lane as the 4, but Shea gets by down low. Doug Vick Jr., G-O-N-E, he gone. Down the front straight with the 39 of Hickman, sits second, and Mike Washburn has his hands full tonight in 27. So down the back straight, it'll be 1.5 laps to go when he meets the midpoint. He does. Doug Vick Jr., more wins than any other Pro Mod competitor in this division over the last 3 years. He rolls down the boulevard into one to the white flag. The 2011 Cajun Classic champion. I just said off mic a second ago to Jeremy Dillard that it's kind of weird to see Doug Vick not racing in the factory stock class, especially with so much money on the line, being a former classic winner. He'll come to the checkers and dominates heat number 2 for the night for the Pro Mods. Robbie Hickman drove a stellar race, holds off the 25 of Josh Bauckham, and the Nightmare Michael Knighton comes home fourth. Michael Wages in car number 76L. Michael Wages in 76L. The 515, that'll be Trent Humphrey in the Auto Zone. Johnny's Pizza, number 515, and Ronnie Long in the Dominator Chassis 15L out of Benton. Here we go. So we re-racked and stacked after the unfortunate incident for Ronnie Long tumbling upside down on the front straightaway. We're back on our way here at Ark-La-Tex. Oh, I'm sorry. So down the back straightaway in the 33 of Richard Holt. We got a battle shaping up for the race lead off of turn number 4. Humphrey looking pretty good tonight. Former open wheel modified feature race winner. I remember a night whenever he held off Cade Dillard to win a modified race in Manny, and I was very thoroughly impressed anyway. As Humphrey will go to work off of turn number 4, brought his stamps, he'll send it into turn number 1 to the 33 of Richard Holt. Holt will bolt out front with the race lead in car number 33. He's got it, but I'm telling you right now, the 515, if he keeps chipping away at it, he may just roll right by him here. Diamond's off the exit of 4, and here he comes. A great race brewing here in Pro Mod Heat Race number 3 of the night. To the flag stand this time, Holt leaves him enough to walk through the threshold on the outside. You couldn't have slid the Holy Spirit right there between the two door panels. They hustle off a 2 down the back straightaway. My boy Chris Green coming by giving me funny looking faces. The promoter is 67. I love him. Into 1. Trent Humphrey worked on it, kept working, and he finally got it. And he's jumped out to the race lead by a sizable margin now over the 33, who's had a very respectable performance as well of Richard Holt, who continues to ride second as they hustle into 1 for the final time. Final trip here at Ark-La-Tex, and Humphrey just bobbled pretty big there. So won't give it a big enough bobble to open up the door for the 33 to get back by to go to the lead. To the checkered flag for the final time, shown by Lil Easy. The 515 of Humphrey scores it. The 33 of Richard Holt will come home second. 13X again is Michael Fagan, Brandon Rowlands in the 88B car tonight. 15 laps, the top 3 go. Here we go. Look at this, folks. It's a logjam off of 2 down the back straightaway. They're 3 and 4 wide down the back straightaway. Only the top 3 go. And here comes Winnigan, Chris Hennigan from Marshall. Down the front stretch, they come off of 4. Oh, my goodness. It's getting messier than the 80s food fight out here, folks. Oh, boy. Bo Perry got a shot in the shorts. Lou Lyles gave him a big old smack there off the exit of corner number 2. And the 3 and off of 4. Lou Lyles washes up there off of exit. They're 4 or 3 wide for sure off of 4. Lou Lyles ran out of real estate. Lou Lyles tags the front straightaway wall. It is wild right now here at Ark-La-Tex. I told you, once them limited stepped up top earlier, it was going to kick them crumbs up, and this racetrack was going to get awfully delicious. As they roll off of 2, here comes Winnigan, Chris Hennigan. He'll roll to the inside of Bo Perry. Half a nose. Score it to the 12 of Bo Perry, that time at the line. As Hennigan will continue to punch the time clock and go to work down the back stretch into 3. Rolling like a yo-yo with no string is the 100 of Chris Hennigan. Down the front stretch into turn number 1. Here comes Bo now. Bo Perry singing a song of his own up top. He likes the way the note feels. Down the back straightaway. Here comes the 12. Going to look to cross him under. Nope, he'll stay committed to the outside. Here comes Bo Perry now. They're 4 wide and 3 wide off of 4. Back here for 3rd and 4th. Uh-oh. It's going to send him into the front straightaway wall. And yikes. Man. The 13. So it'll be 9 more trips around the Ark-La-Tex Speedway of this 15-lap affair. We'll see what happens. Only the top 3 go. The battle for transfer is heating up. Appreciate you folks' patience there. Contact there with Bo Perry, who could be a victim of not making this show tonight, as the 125 of Lou Lyles just went in there, caught his rear end, and nearly spun him out. Lou Lyles, one of the good guys in our sport, but boy, he hit a little rough. Into turn number 3. Off of 4, this time by to the line. It's 2 more trips around the Ark-La-Tex Speedway, and Ricky Ingles trying to dethrone the 100 of Cook. Brian Cook in the 100s had Lee Davis in his other car the last couple of weeks. And here comes Ingles to the outside. White flag this time by for Winnigan, Chris Hennigan. Off of 4 this time by to the line. These guys have to start racing each other smart, as they got to know that they're in the show right here. But the 100 of Cook has no idea that Bo Perry is coming along in tow. Bo Perry about to snooker him. Final time down the back straight. Here comes Bo Perry in the 12. Final time to turns 3 and 4. Brian Cook's either going to wash up off of exit and slam the door on him, and he will. And Bo's going to have to cross underneath to come to the line, and oh my goodness, Brian Cook holds him off. Bo Perry, 63P of Olin Holder with Garen Lindsay to his outside in the deuce. 02 is Henry Munson with Glenn Lindsay to the outside in G25. Billy Grider in 492, and here we go. I don't need to go through that whole lineup again. I just talked to I just need service on my phone. I don't know why I don't have service. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3. They're 2 by 2 by 2 into 3. here at Gene Borders Ark-La-Tex Speedway. The land of the 3 wide beginning to really widen out and live up to the moniker. Into 1. The Redwater Texan. Lap affair scored into the history books. It's Austin Smooth Waters over Jody Prince, Neil Kemp, Josh Ellender in the 50. Who's that on the outside? Relighting the candles off of 4 as Austin Waters were back underway. Hustling back off into turns 1 and 2. Off of 2 down the back straightaway into 3. Neil Kemp's got a big screaming run to the outside of the 50 of Ellender, but Ellender working the bottom side of the Ark-La-Tex Speedway to his advantage. Off of turn number 4 down the front stretch into 1. Josh Ellender typically shows up here to the Ark-La-Tex, and he shows out pretty good. And right now he's showing what he's made of down the back stretch into turn number 3. He won that car. It's an Outlaw chassis that I believe he won in a raffle. As he rolls off of turn number 4, here comes Ellender. Josh Ellender putting the Ark-La-Tex Speedway and that Outlaw chassis to the test. Down the back straightaway, he'll go to the inside of the Tempe of Jody Prince out of Sibley, and here comes Kirby, Arkansas's 3-wheel Neil Kemp. Neil Kemp now throw his hat into the ring and become another player. Off of turn number 4, still out front, it's all Redwater, Texas racer. Austin Smooth Waters. Austin Waters looking smooth tonight, baby. Smoother than a baby's bottom, as they'd like to say, I guess. Off of 2 down the back straightaway. No driver has a clear advantage from that top shelf down to the bottom where Ellender continues to run, but Neil Kemp keeps searching the racetrack as Garland. It may be just a matter of moments before he throws his hat into the ring and becomes a player. He's way up top where Grandpa keeps the real good bourbon. That time he dominates off the exit of 2, and here he comes down the back straightaway. Going to look to dispose of the 63P of Holder. Olin Holder having a good run tonight here at Ark-La-Tex. Down the boulevard into 1, Garland. It's just a matter of time before Garland gets in there, and he may just throw them all into his hip pocket. Into turn number 3, Friday and Saturday night, and on the 11th will be practice night. There'll be a 3,000 win event at the Encore 3000 at Showtime the week prior to that. And of course, 10,000 reasons to race at Boot Hill, the place to race in the state of Louisiana. August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd for 10,000 to win King of the Hill. Factory stock racing at its finest here in the Ark-La-Tex. Down the back straightaway, Jody Prince now gets disposed of by the 50 of Ellender. He goes way up top in car number 10P. Jody P going to have to get up on the wheel now because here comes Club 20. Neil Kemp. He knows what it's all about to make a final turn pass, and he just caught the left rear quarter panel of the 50 and gave him a little romance there. A little kiss of contact. Just a little bit of kiss of contact there, and here comes Garland. He's working the hub now, and he's working it pretty well, but he's going to have to get back up top because here comes Holder. David Edwards trying to put his nose back into the mix. Some good cars in this one. They're 3 wide for transfer down the back straightaway, down the boulevard into turn number 3. Jody Prince singing a song way up top, but here comes a slide job by Neil Kemp. Oh my! Neil Kemp just threw a slider all the way from downtown Shreveport, Louisiana into 1 and 2. And Jody Prince about parked him over there in Blanchard. Off of 2 down the back straightaway into 3. Neil Kemp, he said, I've had enough. He'll drive it down to the bottom of the racetrack and try to put some pressure back on Jody P. Off of turn number 4, they're side by side for the 3rd and final transfer spot. It's heating up. It's heated all the way up in this one. Into turn number 1. We're not bulling yet. It's not yet the 212, but down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Jody P gives him a shot in the shorts. Into 3. Neil Kemp. He said he got it working just how he wants it. Just like my Whataburger last night. They made it how I like it. Into 1. I don't know what I'm talking about. So off of 2 down the back straightaway. Club 20 and Neil Kemp. I don't know. What is Jody going to do? Will Jody slide him back? Will Neil be able to cross him back underneath? I don't know. That's why we're going to race it out to the checkers, and we'll find out what happens when we get there. Into 1. A great battle for transfer. As a race fan, this is what you want. Into 3. Battle for transfer is all the way heated up. Couldn't be any closer right now. off of 4. JP loses some ground that time. The Clo 20 would have had it that time at the line. The white flag is out. Austin Waters needs to be commended for the effort he's had here because he has left everyone else in his tire marks down the back stretch. Neil Kemp going to take and dispose of the 50 of Ellender, go to second. Final trip off of 4. Redwater, Texas Racer, smooth. Austin Waters wins it to the line. Neil Kemp will grab second. Ellender finishes third. So keep your eyes on the car that starts dead last in this one. The 22 of Ronald Pilkington. He's a former Cajun Classic winner, former Longhorn Classic winner, and an Armadillo Nationals winner. Watch him. He'll be coming to the front. So we get ready to play again in your third beef feature of the night. Mewburn drives it in deep. Lishman with a good run to his outside here on the opening circuit, but 36 leads lap 1 of Brian Mewburn. So Brian Mewburn doesn't race very much over the last couple of years. Of course, his son Colby been behind the cockpit, and his son Connor races the 4-cylinder division. They all get it pretty honest. But this event, I believe, is just very special to Brian as he's won it twice in his racing career. And you have to think he has this one circled long before it ever gets here. As he has the race lead down the back straightaway into turn number 3. It'll be 13 laps to go, 2 laps score to this 15-lap affair off of 4. It's Mewburn out front in 36. The 5 of Lishman continues to roll well as he holds on to the top shelf of the Ark-La-Tex Speedway. But here comes the 100 of Lee Patton now. Lee Patton. Look at that. Rollo just drove her like gangbusters in there. Got smoked. So in the 1, Ronald Pilkington driving all kinds of wild up through the field, and we get a caution. Living up to his moniker, he's flying pretty quickly around the Ark-La-Tex Speedway right now. Lee Patton, the 83 of Calvin Tucker. The 5 of Lishman, your top 4 right now. We're about to find out who goes to the main event. 8 laps to go. We're back on our way. They'll hustle off into turns 1 and 2. Here comes Skeet Amison now. Amison now throws his hat in the ring and becomes a player. Here comes Cody Myers in car number 81. Here comes Cody Myers in 81. Way up top in car number 81. He's coming on strong, and here comes the F5 of Amison. Down the boulevard, it's hitting up into 1. I like the elements. I like being out here a little bit better. Off of 2 down the back straightaway. Amison now going to throw his hat. Oh, and bottles up the 81 of Myers. A chain reaction causing the effect here. And through 3 and 4, it is wild right now. Oh, my. And somehow, some way, let's do it again, Ark-La-Tex. Who's it going to be tonight? 6 laps to the checkers. Top 3 go. Here we go. They head down the boulevard into turn number 1. Cody Myers way up top in car number 81. Here he comes down the back straightaway. Cody Myers setting sail in car number 81 for Joe Best Motorsports, and he is about to roll to the race lead. Jason Ingles won $2,500 in this car last Saturday night at the Hill. And Cody Myers right now going to rip and roll the outside of the racetrack. Hello, please sit down, please take a seat. Hello and goodbye. Into 3, not quite just yet. Brian Mueber feels the pressure. Oh, Brian Mueber just lost the handle. Lee Patton had nowhere to go, and Myers goes to the race lead. Oh my. This is just too much right now. It's too much for me, Austin. Oh, 2 down the back straightaway. Unbelievable. Tyler Morgan going to inherit the top 3. Or is it inside of the top 3 now? Off of turn number 4, Myers out front. Rolling like a yo-yo with no string. So the wildness has kind of settled itself down a little bit as they hustle down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. This time by, it'll be the white flag coming out here at Ark-La-Tex. Down the boulevard, back into 1 to the white for Myers. Final turn, final time to the checkered flag. Your winner goes to Bossier City, Louisiana's Cody Myers in 81. Clay Atwood in 111. Dylan Adams in 248. Keep your eyes on the 66 car, folks. Keep your eyes on the 66 of Wilburn. He starts dead last. He'll be coming to the front. Off of 4, McEachern rolling through the scenic route through the infield, and he just lost wholesale positions. McEachern, who started this race inside of a transfer spot, making it tougher and tougher on himself to make it to this main event here tonight. As they roll through 3 and off of 4, this one's close and tight-knit right now. Throw Grandma's Quilt over the top 7. Down the boulevard into 1. TJ Evans. TJ going to get disposed of down the back straight about half the car lane as they head off into 3 and 4. Evans continues to roll the bottom. And a slight drop through 3 and 4 by the 7 of Evans. And the 90 of Davidson does not check the throttle and drop back down underneath. Evans with a textbook slider move right there. He'll slide up in front of the nose of the 90, and here comes the 2R of Ryan Roberts now. Double R down the back straightaway. Double R down the back straightaway, rolling like a railroad into turn number turn number 3. Daughtery. They're 3 wide. They're 3 different lanes wide. Not 3 cars wide, but they're fanned out all over the Ark-La-Tex Speedway right now for that position. Into 1 and 2. Here comes the KMO Regional Points leader in the KMO Racing, number 27 of Dalton Faulkner. Contact between 34 Jr. and 92 of Rossum and Daughtery that time. Into 3 and 4. Here comes Dalton Faulkner. This young man is nothing less than impressive. 7 consecutive wins at the 105 Speedway in Cleveland, Texas. Say what you want, folks, but winning 7 straight races, something to be said for it. He had to beat Dylan Alasko all them times. He ain't no slouch. Into turn number 3. This youngster, 25 years old out of Conroe. He was working in his car this morning at about 4 o'clock, changing the rear end so he could come over here and compete today. Started 20th in the main event last night, came all the way up to 14, 15, or 16 different tracks across the great state of Texas, Louisiana, and beyond. And it's really, oh my goodness gracious. I can't finish my sentence because it's just too wild right now. Bobby Jordan just drove in there and washed up all over the nose of a couple of them. He said, hey, I'm a police chief. I'll do what I want. Working down to it, to the final one of the night. And here comes Faulkner. Your top two cars in the KMO regional standings right now. TJ Evans comes into this event. Well, he was second for the majority of the year. I think he fell out of the top three just this past week. Out of his misfortune at the Boot Hill Speedway down the road in Greenwood. But now down the straightaway. Evans trying to hold off the driver who sits out front in the KMO regional standings of Dalton Faulkner. Faulkner will continue to go to work and punch the time clock. He brought his stamps. He'll send it into turn number 3. He'll go back to the outside of the Ark-La-Tex Speedway and stalk the tire tracks of the 7 car for the race lead. Evans running away, though. That Eric Martin MRC chassis. Hustling around Gene Borders Ark-La-Tex Speedway. Davidson has the third and final transfer spot. Daughtery and 2R of Ryan Roberts better get up on the horse and put the whip to it right now if they want to be a factor. Look at that. Bobby Jordan just drove through Josh Daughtery. Sometimes you call it like you see it. I love you, Bobby, but that was a mistake. Okay, who makes up the final 3 positions at tonight's main event? TJ Evans holding off Dalton Faulkner. We're back underway here at Ark-La-Tex. Wow. 4 wide, and Jordan just got turned and wrecked, and now everybody, oh my goodness gracious. What are the odds of that? I told you before the race ever started, didn't I? To keep your eyes on the 66 car, because here comes Wilburn to spoil the party. J. Will from 25th a year ago at the King of the Hill 10,000 win event from 4th, 25th to 4th. And tonight, from the tail to grab the third and final transfer spot with 3 to go. J. Will is rolling, son. He'll roll off into the back bumper to the 27 of Faulkner as he takes a stab to the inside of the Evans for the race lead. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3. 2 more trips around the Ark-La-Tex Speedway, and Jody D's got it hanging out up top now. Davidson gets the door slammed shut right in front of his face as here comes McCeachern. McCeachern got to get up on the wheel now. Ooh, he drove the car all the way into the corner. I don't know how he did not make contact with Wilburn. Pretty good shoe, though. And to 3 and off a 4 to the white flag. Faulkner taking a stab to the inside of Evans for the top spot. But the outside line momentum continues to relegate the advances of the 27 of Faulkner. And he tells him to please sit down and take a seat for me. Final trip off of 2. Wilburn appears that he has it. He washed way up there off the exit and may open up the door for the 90 to get a big run here coming to the line. Davidson's got the PTS power plant to the floor, but it doesn't matter. J-Will from the tail to grab the third and final spot. That was impressive. The 8 is Tyler Honeywell. Outside is Chris Kuhn in Triple C. Billy Gould in car number 60. Travis Bowden in car number 11. Mark Grenier, Chase Abear in the 9C car. We're underway off of 4. Hey, folks that are watching live, y'all bear with me for just a moment. Got to use the restroom real quick, so. Not that I need to announce it, but there's not another announcer here, so. 5X will start third. And your front row will be Dakota White and Scotty Case. Again, that's the factory stock top 8 cars that are locked in as the Pro Mods get ready to go for their B feature. Here we go. The B feature continues on here at the Ark-La-Tex Speedway. It'll be 5 laps to go this time by the Gentle Giant Jason Beasley out front, marching to the beat of his own drum. He'll set his sights down the back straightaway to turn number 3, the 16 rolling now. So again, this will be the B features. If any of you folks just happen to be tuning in watching this live as well, I'm not going to step away now. And the caution flag will wave. So I told you the reason why. Back on the restart. Bechet going to try to put the pressure on the 16 of the Gentle Giant, Jason Beasley, as they hustle into turns 1 and 2. As they come off of 2 down the back straightaway. 2 laps to go this time by underneath the flag stand. Here they come. And Mike Washburn just slid in the 27 to the inside for third. I don't know how many they're taking. To the line. Oh, Jason Beasley wins it. Ready to play for the first main event of the night here at the land of the 3 wide. Jimbo from the front row, 20 laps. Here we go. Start that Jimbo is looking for. They sling them off into 1 and 2 for the first A main of the night here at the Ark-La-Tex Speedway. Down the back straightaway off the exit of 2. Rifling into 3. It's Carver out front with the race lead. Carver out front. He'll tiptoe around the outside of the racetrack and diamond off the exit of 4 down the boulevard into 1. Taylor Carver got the start that he was looking for. Puts Jamie Clayton back to third. It's 26 of Patrick Lynn is taking over second. Here comes James Thompson off of 2 down the back straightaway at 85. Still 3 wide there at the midpoint down the back straightaway. We need a couple different sets of eyeballs to see all the good battles right now. As they roll off of 4 down the boulevard. It's still Taylor Carver out front with race lead. Carver is stretching out to nearly entire straightaway advantage now as he rolls into 3 and 4. And off of 4 this time underneath the flag stand. He is booking it. This battle back here for 5th continues the wage war. Oh, boy, Atkinson, this is about to be ugly. It was about to be ugly. Atkinson broke at the midpoint of the back straightaway and about bottled up the 27 of Crow. And Crow has come to a stop, or about to come to a stop. He's limping at the top of turn number 4. And Crow, oh, and the yellow's out. Gave him a lot of recognition that he was deserving of. As Carver will lead him, though, off of 4, we're back underway. Hustling into 1, they're 3 wide for 2nd. Calhoun will throw his hat into the ring and become a player. Jim Clayton continues to relegate the advances of the 26 as he snookered him on the restart. Lynn went back to 3rd as J3 went. Oh, and Carver just broke. That happens more times than not, it seems like, with Carver. He's either out front dominating or he's on the Heartbreak Hotel. And he will be Elvis Presley Boulevard bound tonight. Again, if you know anybody that's not able to be here at the racetrack tonight, you tell them to watch it live on raceontexas.com. So they can see everything that happens on the racetrack in 1080p. With maybe my commentary, but for what it's worth, into 1, we're back underway. Oh, and Jamie nearly lost the handle. He caught it and he corralled it. He slams the throttle to the floorboard and it puts the 26 back into his hip pocket. He says, I ain't going to let that out again. Off of 4, J3 Clayton. Rolling now. Had to get that entry back down pat. Jimbo rolling. Off of 2 down the back straightaway. They're 3 wide back here for the 6th, 7th, 8th spots. Down the back stretch. Here comes the 61 of Jay Watson, the old school Camaro. That old school cool number 61 Camaro rolling like a big dog. And here comes Brad Calhoun in 15. Brad Calhoun. Off of 2 down the back straightaway as he approaches turn number 3 and off of turn number 2. Oh boy. Somehow, some way we still had 11 laps to go here. 10 in, 10 laps to go. Halfway, this time by the line. Here we got something cooking up top. Here comes Little Rock, Arkansas's Patrick Lynn. Patrick Lynn is digging like Daryl up top. Into turns 1 and 2. They're 3 different lanes wide right now. The Hobby Stocks are putting on a showcase tonight at Ark-La-Tex. Into turn number 3, the first time the Hobby Stocks have been at this racetrack in quite some time. Off of 4, Patrick Lynn with the cross under off of 4. Can't do it. I thought he was going to do it, but he doesn't. Into 1. He'll tuck back in tow. And they go 3 wide for the race lead. Lynn going to try to smell blood in the water. He'll be the shark here down the back straightaway. Oh, you got our Donnybrook brewing. Into 3. Here comes Patrick Lynn. He'll cross underneath off of turn number 4. And he's going to look to find that momentum. And he has to tuck back in tow behind the bumper of the J3. And he'll send it back up top. And he's got the run now. He can't find it. He'll try to check the throttle and drive underneath. Jimbo Clayton making that car wider than a triple wide trailer right now. As they roll through 3 and off of turn number 4, they're side by side for the race lead. Calhoun around the hub. Oh boy, into 1. It's heating up at Ark-La-Tex into 1. This is why we rant and rave about this racetrack. Gene Border knows. Oh, Patrick Lynn just broke. Heartbreak Hotel for P. Lynn. Oh my goodness gracious, Patrick Lynn, Heartbreak Hotel. You can't, but here comes Brad Calhoun. He says for what the race that he was going to display, I got one better for him. Off of 2 down the back straightaway, Brad Calhoun trying to make it work around the hub when Patrick Lynn had it working up top. Off of 4, down the boulevard, they come into 1. What an absolute, what a race. Into 1 and 2. You can bring the Hobby Stocks back anytime. And Jamie Clayton says, I'm done with this Calhoun kid. Off of 4, 2 laps to go. We'll head down to Barksdale Federal Credit Union Victor Lane here in a matter of moments to find out who's going to be your victor. It could be by just a slim margin. It could be by car length. It could be such a photo finish. We don't know. Oh, my goodness, dude. Sorry, that was Wow, we kept them. The white flag is out. Odie Future, you just could have sworn that the caution flag was going to come out. Calhoun drives it deep off into the corner as they roll down the back straightaway for the final time of the checkers. Into 3 and 4. It appears that Clayton's going to be able to do it. The 15 just sailed her off deep into the 3 and 4. And he comes up short. Jamie Jimbo Clayton wins the first hobby stock race at Ark-La-Tex in quite some time, if ever. Of course, every track's ran hobby stock. He laps the entire distance live on RaceOnTexas.com. Or Justin Whitehead's factory stock 50. The J27 of Case going to lead him to the point. And we're underway off of 4. Hustling into 1 and 2 for the first time. Steele will take the low road into 1 and 2. They're 3 wide for third already down the back straightaway. The 5X of Mickey Steele works the hub. He'll work it well on the entry there for the first time. Who leads lap 1? It'll be Scotty Case. Scotty Case leads lap number 1 tonight. They hustle off into turns 1 and 2. Off of 2 down the back straightaway. The J27 of Scotty Case trying to get the biggest win of his racing career tonight. Put that forward power J27 out front, and he has been barking like a big dog all night. Down the front stretch, he comes into turn number 1. Case. Still, it's the 3 Louisiana natives, 1, 2, and 3 right now, but here comes the Hooks Texan Brandon Brown. Brandon Brown out of Hooks Texas wants to throw his hat in the ring as well. Car number 32. He'll diamond up the exit of 4 to the inside of the 15 next to Dakota Wyatt, who sits third. As they're down the front stretch of the 1, it's a log jam from 5th on back. Oaks up to 5th. Craig Oaks is up to the 5th position early. Dakota Wyatt just got snookered. But the 32 of Brandon Brown. Awfully early to be speaking of this, but can we go caution free tonight? Can we do it? Can we go caution free? I think we can. I don't know that I want to. All right, making my way back up the steps, and Brandon Brown's got a hot rod tonight. He's about to throw some sliders. Here he comes. And a slide job, maybe. Oh, boy, yes, sir. And clears the front of the nose of the 5X of Mickey Steele. A slide job city. One slider deserves another. If you don't like what you just saw, you don't like dirt track racing too much. As Brandon Brown is booking it, he's on the move to the front. It'll be 5 laps scored this time by her. 6 laps scored, 44 remain here at Ark-La-Tex. And a Donnybrook Bruin. Been fantastic racing all night long. And there's a thin line there between love and hate as the J27 of Scotty Case nearly jumped the cushion in 1 and 2. Brandon Brown clearly appears to have the best hot rod right in front of the field. Case just lost the handle, could not corral it. Oh my. Scotty Case just lost the handle right in front of the field, and he is on the way to the Elvis Presley Boulevard to the Heartbreak Hotel. And Brandon Brown will inherit the race lead. He says, thank you very much. Brandon Brown appears early that he may have the best hot rod of the bunch, but I tell you what, Scotty Case going to be hating to go back and watch this one. A very rare, uncharacteristic mistake for the veteran racer out of Calhoun, Louisiana, Scotty Case, who came from worst to the lead to win heat race number 2 tonight to earn the pole position. It'll be 41 laps to go, 9 scored this time by at the line. Everybody tippy-toeing around the outside of the racetrack, but Chris Hennigan showing right now that he can work the bottom. The outside line momentum taking the quick lane around the Ark-La-Tex Speedway right now as Craig Oaks has worked his way to 3rd. Oaks from 8th to 3rd early in this one. As Brandon Brown continuing to stretch his advantage out with the race lead of this 50-lap affair. As he heads down the boulevard off of turn number 4 into 1. Oh, as Sean Graham and the 81 of Ingles just came together, and it didn't look too pretty. And here comes Craig Oaks, the Marshall Texan, will take over 2nd on the restart. And Cody Myers breaks off the exit of corner number 2 and corner number 81. He is DONE, stick a fork in him. And here comes Hennigan. Chris Hennigan. Doing Chris Hennigan things, working the hub and working it well. He has finished 2nd in this car too many times to count. And he is on it. Down the back straightaway trying to relegate the advances of the 5X of Mickey Steele. He'll roll down to the bottom of the racetrack again off of turn number 4. Here comes Winnigan Hennigan. Last night's winner at Showtime in the modified main event. Down the front stretch into 1. TJ Evans from a B main as well. He sits inside of the top 5. Mickey Steele about to be a victim to drop out of the top 5. Here comes Evans now. TJ Evans is rolling tonight here at Ark-La-Tex. Down the front stretch into turn number 1 in a dandy. Out front by his lonesome is Brandon Brown. What can Brown do for you? If you're a Brandon Brown fan, he can take you right to victory lane. But he is going to have to hold on for 36 more of them, this time by at the line. Brandon Brown has been the man with the plan with checkered flags in his hand at the Texarkana 67 Speedway on many of Friday nights. Had more wins there than any other driver a season ago. Picked up 11 wins at 4 different racetracks in 2018 as Brown continues to hustle with the race lead off of 4. Here comes Hennigan. Chris Hennigan, Bill Kitchen, and I used to always say, working that Chris Hennigan line, and Chris Hennigan's working his own line right now. Chris Hennigan is working the hub and working it well. He is one of the smoothest and more meticulous drivers. He will keep chipping away at it. It's not picking up yards, it's not picking up feet, but he is chipping away at the inches right now. But Oaks, too dominant up top. Craig Oaks down the back straightaway into turn number 3, continues to relegate the 100 of Chris Hennigan the third. At the line this time, who's it going to be? It will be Oaks. So back on through the field here as Hennigan takes another stab to the inside. It's Steele trying to hold off a charge from the 7 is TJ Evans. The 007 of Yount working the bottom of the racetrack and working it pretty well here. The 15 next to Dakota Wyatt doing battle with the 46 of Austin Waters. Club 20 and Neil Kemp. And these guys are racing pretty hard back here. While Hennigan and the 101, boy, if this is the battle for the top spot, Brandon Brown trying to make it a snoozer up top or up front. You better believe Brandon will burn the house down if he can score this win tonight. He's maybe been one of the drivers been long overdue for one of these. As he'll set his sights into 1 and 2, down the back stretch. Brown, your leader. Hennigan continues to take a stab and strolls to the inside of Oaks. Down the back straightaway off of turn number 2. Into 3. The battle back here. We have a lot of laps to go yet, folks. We're not even down to a regular dirt track Saturday night main event yet. We have 29 laps remaining into the history books. And Chris Hennigan, will he come home the bridesmaid once again in a factory stock race here in the Ark-La-Tex? Over the last 2 years' time, driving for Tommy Mercer, the Southern Roofing Outlaw chassis number 100, Chris Hennigan has been outstanding, but just not enough to bring home the money. Brandon Brown is annihilating the outside of the Ark-La-Tex Speedway and putting it down, picking them up and putting them down tonight. Unless he burns the tires off of the 32 car, I don't see anyone getting up there unless we get a late race caution. Could snooker him on a restart. He's the class of the field at this juncture. But that's why we race the entirety of them, folks. There's been a little bit of smoke starting to come out from underneath the rear tail tank of the 100 of Hennigan. But it hasn't looked and appeared to impede his progress any as he continues to roll to the inside of Craig Oaks. But maybe he's just burning rubber. So Chris Hennigan now steps up to the outside of the racetrack. Well, goes back to the bottom, makes a liar of him. He goes to the bottom and turns 3 and 4. As Chris is just going to continue to drive his hot rod down to the bottom of the racetrack here. Evans has finally prevailed and gotten around 007 of Yount, but the 27 of Dalton Faulkner may be the car on the move. The 25-year-old Conroe, Texas racer, the current KMO regional points leader, and the 27 of Faulkner has rolled his way inside of the top 5 now. As Brandon Brown continues to lead, he's going to finally have to go to the bottom of the racetrack this time. It'll scrub some of that speed off as he works his way around lap traffic. Man, this shows you right now how tough the competition in this class is. Brandon Brown doesn't have even a chance for another straightaway to reach lap traffic, and I think that just goes to show how tough this competition is in this factory stock division. And around goes... Hard to tell from my vantage point who just looped it there in 3 and 4, but... Oh, he stalled the car out. We'll get a caution. Dude, throw the caution. There it is. So Brandon Brown from Hooks, Texas. Started this one in 7th tonight. We're underway off of 4. Faulkner. And the 27, you got to think that this youngster is going to throw his hat into the ring here. Oh boy, caught a character spot. Chris Hennigan going to go to the outside and take the second spot away now from Craig Oakes. Chris Hennigan trying to give her rolling now. As up top hanging her out off of 432 leads. But Chris Hennigan going to try to live up to his moniker tonight. He has stepped to the outside of the racetrack. Has he been holding on to his tires just a little bit? And Craig Oakes is done. Craig Oakes, nope, sorry. Craig got out of the groove. I thought he broke. Craig got out of the groove there for a moment. As here comes Chris Hennigan to the inside for the race lead. Not going to work that outside line momentum too much right now up top. They'll go back to the outside of the Ark-La-Tex Speedway and start the tire tracks as Dalton Faulkner now going to take the Chris Hennigan line. Off of 2 down the backstretch. Chris Hennigan going to go to the bottom side of the racetrack and show some love. He just wants to maybe try to rattle the 32 of Brandon Brown as they'll roll down the boulevard back into 1. Hennigan will go to the bottom of the racetrack this time into 1 and 2. And Craig Oakes has got his hands full with the 101 car now. And Neil Kemp all of a sudden is inside of the top 4. Neil Kemp is up to 4th in Club 20. Last weekend at the Boot Hill Speedway on the Saturday night of the Battle of Boot Hill, he was digging. I mean, came on strong and unfortunately got his progress just wiped out from right underneath him, and he has got it ticking up top now. Club 20, Neil Kemp digging. Won this event 2 years ago, and he would certainly love to put his name on the mantle for the second time of his racing career. $5,000 he won at Billy White's Timberline Speedway, and he had to do it driving the 32 car of Brandon Brown's machine that night as Brandon was not competing. And boy, would it be an interesting story if 2 years after the fact, if Club 20 could get up there and then go take one away from the 32. Storylines are of plentiful here, as the youngster of Dalton Faulkner out of Conroe, Texas, will go to the outside of the racetrack and try to get around Chris Hennigan. Since this youngster has been coming around and racing around the Ark-La-Tex, he has been nothing less than impressive. And he is showing again right now, just like he did last night at RPM, why he's the current KMO regional points leader in the factory stock division. And there should be no more doubt left on the table. He's got to run. Here he comes, off of turn number 4. Hennigan going to try to slam the door on him. He went a little high wide and handsome as Brandon Brown continuing to tick him off. He is driving a very smart, a smooth, and a flawless race tonight. Nothing you could say about Brandon Brown's performance at this point has been anything less than flawless. He continues to rip and roar the outside of the racetrack with reckless abandon. There's a thin line right there, folks. There's a thin line between love and hate, and the caution flag will come out on the speed plant. It's proven again here tonight. Racing door-to-door with one of the heavyweights, one of the best to ever do it out of the Ark-La-Tex in the form of Chris Hennigan. Brandon Brown on the throttle. We're back underway. Slicing into 1 and 2 on the restart. Faulkner leaves room for Hennigan up top. He'll skate away in the 100 down the back straightaway. Hennigan, his best shot will have to be on these restarts. He'll have to drive it deep off into the corner and try to throw a slider on Brandon. Off of 4. The outside line momentum works, and Hennigan is there. What's going to happen? Who's it going to be? If Faulkner drives it deep off into the corner that time off the exit of 2, and he may have just found something. May have found the way he can drive her off in there. He ain't selling it cheap as Hennigan drives it down to the bottom. Here comes Winnigan Hennigan. Down the boulevard, they head back into 1. It's heating up with 8 to go next time. And Brandon Brown just jumped the cushion nearly. A mistake, the first mistake of the race. And Chris Hennigan's putting the pressure on him. That's exactly what he wants to do, is put the pressure on Brandon, make him overdrive his car. And here comes Hennigan, but Brandon still leads. Chris going to continue to drive his car deep up into the corner and show the nose of the 32. Hello, how you doing? Down the back straightaway, Brandon feels pretty good now. Skates and uses that high side momentum to his advantage. He rockets into turn number 3. Tippy-toeing around the outside of the racetrack. And he is just starting to hit his marks again. If Brandon can hit his marks and continue to do it, it's going to be tough to get up there. You have to throw a slider on him and take his line away. Into 3 and 4. Hennigan will drive down to the low side again off of turn number 4 and show the nose to the 32. Was not working. It's not working. Into 1. He'll go back down to the bottom into 1 and 2. Hello, Brandon. How you doing? Brandon's cooking it. Still up top. Neil Kemp trying to catch this lead trio. Neil Kemp trying to catch the lead trio. Now is the 27 putting the pressure on Hennigan. He got into the left rear. Just a little bit slight kiss of contact. A slight kiss of contact there. And Chris Hennigan had to have felt the pressure. As Faulkner off the exit of the corner 2. Into 3. On the back bumper of 100. You don't want to rattle that cage too hard there, Dalton. Off of 4. We're working down to the final trips. And the Club 20 have caught him. Boy, if this thing was 60 laps and Brandon Brown wasn't in it. No. Brandon's undoubtedly the class of this field tonight. Oh, boy, he got really loose there. Brandon got really loose there off the exit of corner number 4. But steering the 32, and he just... I'm going to let this play out. 2 laps to go this time by, and Brandon Brown's got to drive the best final 2 circuits of his racing career right now for $4,000. As Chris Hennigan's going to make him earn it. Brown up top where Grandpa keeps the good bourbon, down the back straightaway. This time by, it'll be the white flag coming out this time for the Hooks Texas Racer. And the Outlaw Chassis Best Engines powered number 32. And the Thompson Motorsports RaceOnTexas.com Hadaway Towing and Collision. Wilson's Automotive number 32 for the final time down the back straightaway. He'll be a happy camper and a fired up customer. Into 3 and 4. Ladies and gentlemen, dominates tonight at Ark-La-Tex. Brendan Brown with his second crown jewel of his racing career here at Ark-La-Tex tonight. So Tupper and Ingles on the front row with his son Cody in row 2. The lights are out. We're back underway. Much better entry that time into the corner of the 23 and the 9. Much cleaner this time. Here comes the freight train from Farmerville. Brendan Ball working the hub there. 4 different lanes wide off of turn number 4. I knew it. This racetrack is good right now for limited racing. Abear going to throw his hat into the ring now on the 9 car on the back bumper to the 23 of Tupper down the backstretch. This year started off for Ricky Ingles down at the South Texas Speedway. Stephen Whitaker Jr.'s South Texas Speedway in Corpus Christi for the Jerry Whitaker Memorial. And of course, it was downtown Chris Brown who prevailed with the $8,900 victory and $10,900 total dollars for his efforts after winning the 2001 qualifier on one of the prelim nights. But Ingles went down there, showed some strength, showed speed, but just did not leave Corpus Christi with a smile on his face that he was looking for anyway, as he just caught a character spot. But Ingles, quick enough right now, tippy-toeing around the outside of the Ark-La-Tex Speedway and rolling it with reckless abandon. And he's able to keep the rest of the field of competition at his heels right now as he rolls off of 4 to the race lead. The war being waged, similar to the previous race with Oaks and Hennigan. Boy, it's... You just certainly think about, boy, if this was for the lead. But nonetheless, we'll take a hell of a battle for a second. Ball trying to slide up and put some pressure on Tupper. Tupper says no. He says, I don't succumb to pressure. Into 1. Cliff Tupper Jr. Obviously, the car did not receive any damage from the mishap there in turn number 2. Oh, he just lost the handle there, corralled it. He's going to have to mash that CB Bruton power plant to the test in the entry to turn number 1. Cliff Tupper Jr. sings a song up top with the CB Bruton power plant underneath the hood. The ASI power underneath the hood for the 9 of A-Bear sings it into turn number 3 all over the back deck lid of that 23 Junior of Cliff Tupper as they roll down the front straightaway back into 1. Ball working the bottom, and he goes back to the top shelf to close the door on the 23 of Cody Tupper. Davidson way back in line, and everybody's now stepping to the outside of the racetrack. Everybody around the outside as Ricky Ingles is driving, I think, a little pissed off right now. That factory stock has got him spent. And what a move by Abear. And diamonding and crossing underneath down the back straightaway. Cliff Tupper says, hey, I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. And here comes the 9 of Abear with a slide job through 3 and 4. He'll leave some clearance to him down the boulevard. They come into 1. And a nice textbook moves there between the 9 and 23. Hard racing. And a little bit of slight kiss of contact from the nose of the 9 into the left rear quarter of the 23 junior of Cliff Tupper Jr. Here comes Abear now. To the back to the inside with a slight job through 3 and off of 4. How do you like me now? Tupper says, I like you. I like you. All right. In 1, the 23 junior, Cliff Tupper. This is fun. And ball just broke. Brandon Ball just broke. And he will not, it appear, be able to get out of harm's way as the caution flag will likely come out now on the racetrack, and it does. Has to. Oh, the caution. Race fans for 20 laps the distance in your limited modified feature event. And the Pro Mods are up next. That'll be your final race of the night. 81 of Ingles to the loud pedal, and we're underway off of 4. They'll rifle into 1. Oh, boy. Oh, look out. Cliff just got railroaded. That's a bummer right there, man. A bummer for Cliff Tupper Jr. The caution flag will have to come out. Very demanding. And they wear him out. Said the factory stock's like a cruise. We'll see what Ingles can do with the final 9 laps. We're back underway. Uh-oh. Abear broke. Abear just broke. Look out. Into 1. He gets out of harm's way. Tough break for Shady Bear as he looks like the car just came back alive. Strange chain of events there as Tupper re-inherits and his son sitting behind him. And they're 1, 2, and 3 off of 4. Here comes Corey Grigsby. Hello, Corey. How you doing? Corey Grigsby going to throw his hat into the ring. Oh, and Cliff Tupper just lost the handle. His son takes advantage and goes to second. Corey Grigsby now to the inside of the 23 junior. He'll roll the bottom side of the Ark-La-Tex Speedway, this time to the inside of the 90. It's a little slippery down there, Corey. He'll roll to the inside of the 23 junior. And a tight-knit battle right now for 4th as they roll off of 2 and down the back straightaway. Corey Grigsby making his return, a good one tonight here at Ark-La-Tex. Popped a power plant, the last event out here. Not sure if Derek's in attendance tonight, but he certainly has to be proud to see his brother running well. As the Grigsby boys are going to be back out here slicing and dicing on the wheel. As this time by, it'll be 5 more trips around the speed plant for the 81 of Ricky Ingles. Two laps to go for Ricky Ingles. Absolutely set on kill, G-O-N-E, and I'm telling you, the 23 of Tupper has closed the gap, though. But only 1 more quarter-mile trip around as he comes back, this time underneath the flag stand. Shown by Kenny Crawford. The white flag is out. The winningest driver at Boot Hill Speedway this season in the limited modified division. Ricky Ingles hustles in the Ark-La-Tex Speedway tonight. Proving once again, baby, that age ain't nothing but a number. Live on RaceOnTexas.com, the Longview, Texas racer, 61-year-old Ricky Ingles dominates your limited modified feature event and goes back to Burkesville Federal Credit Union Victory Lane. Underway in your Pro Mod A feature event. Down the back straightaway in the turn number 3 on the opening lap here. Final race of the night, and the caution flag will wave, and we'll get an original restart. This race about to find out tonight for 20 laps the distance. The lights are out. We're underway off of turn number 4. And Kyle Cummings The first ever super late model winner at this racetrack in May of 2007. Kyle Cummings showing that it's like riding a bike. As Kyle Cummings is trying to work his way to the race lead around the bottom side of the racetrack off of where. Here comes Doug Vick Jr. Doug Vick Jr. and the Pro Mods. The Billy Robinson Memorial this year. They're 3 wide for the race lead down the back straightaway. Trent Humphrey prevails with it. He'll go to the race lead using the outside line momentum to his advantage. They're still 3 wide off of turn number 4. What more do you want at this juncture of the race? Kyle Cummings to the back bumper of Trent Humphrey for the race lead. He'll roll that outside line momentum down the back stretch to the outside of the 4V of Doug Vick Jr. Vick Jr. will continue to roll the hub of the racetrack and roll it well off of 4. Here he comes. What a race. I said it earlier, the best Pro Mod race I've seen ever happened right here at Ark-La-Tex, and interestingly enough, it was for the Billy Robinson Memorial. And Billy may have had a hand in that from upstairs, but it was a fantastic race between Mike Knighton and the 4V of Vick Jr. tonight. We're shaping up for maybe even a better race. We got a 3-way tango right now, a trio breaking away from the rest of the competition as Kevin McCoy relegated back to 4th. Still 3 wide for the race lead. This is unbelievable. Off of 4, Humphrey still leads. So the Pro Mod drivers right now putting on a show, telling everybody that shakes a stick at them, they say, what do you think of me now? As Doug Vick Jr. has just rolled his way to the race lead. Smooth and easy does it. Doug Vick Jr. smooth as butter, baby. He's on a roll. He'll go now to the outside of the racetrack and set his sights into turn number 3 on the loud pedal. Humphrey receiving pressure now from the 29 of Kyle Cummings. He's put pressure on Humphrey the entirety of this race. But right now they're allowing the 4V of Doug Vick Jr. to set sail. Doug Vick Jr. for 14 years of his racing career raced on these asphalt pull-off slick tires in the factory stock division. Now you have to think that that has to play a factor in how he knows how to feel in these shoes. Shoes are feeling pretty good to him tonight. As Vic, the 5-time track champion here, the former Cajun Classic winner, is trying to set sail, and he gone at this point. And off of 2 down the back straightaway, the final race of the night here at the Ark-La-Tex Speedway. That's what you want. We get in and get out of this joker. I had over 100 and I believe 40 to 60 cars here, and only 10 laps to go for your finale and the Pro Mod main event. Lap traffic approaching your leader, Doug Vick Jr., as he has separated himself by a large margin over Trent Humphrey and the 29 of Kyle Cummings. So it doesn't appear that lap traffic is going to impede the progress for Doug Vick Jr. tonight. Just trying to set sail en route to Barksdale Federal Credit Union Victor Lane. As Kyle Cummings continues the wage war with the 515 of Trent Humphrey, and the caution flag waves for the second. Folks here for the Factory Stock 50, we thank you so much again for choosing Ark-La-Tex tonight as your racing destination. The green comes out for Doug Vick Jr. this time. We're back underway. Here comes Kyle Cummings on the restart. Kyle Cummings wants to put some pressure on Doug Vick, but Vick rifles down the back straightaway, and here comes 96 of Knighton now. Josh Bauckham wants to throw his hat into the ring as well here late. It'll be 6 to go this time by. 6 more trips to go. Into 1. Off of 2 down the back straightaway. Into turn number 3. The 4 of Vick Jr. Out front and minding his own business. Won the $1,001 for the Billy Robinson Memorial here. And Kyle Cummings is coming. No pun intended. Down the back straightaway. the son of the late great Rusty Cummings, the 1998 Super Late Model champ, and the driver who won his first ever Super Late Model race here in May of 2007. Kyle Cummings, doing like Chad DuPont's done the last several weeks at Boot Hill. He's won 3 in a row. Kyle Cummings trying to get back on the winning platform here in Vivian. To find out who goes to Barksdale Federal Credit Union Victor Lane, we have 2 more trips around, or 3 more this next time. And 2 laps to go for Vivian's Doug Vick Jr. The white flag will be coming out this time by for the 5-time track champion here as he rolls off of turn number 4 to the white flag. Final turn, final time in the turns 3 and 4. The 2-time reigning Boot Hill track champ and the 5-time track champ here at Ark-La-Tex, Doug Vick Jr. goes back to Barksdale Federal Credit Union Victory Lane. Pretty good. Ain't no stopping him here as of late anyway. Won 2 consecutive championships at Boot Hill, and he's just good in this car. Been real good. He sets the bar for sure. Kyle Cummings, through everything he had at him on those restarts, just couldn't quite find enough to get up there and challenge the 4V. Easy now, Kenny. So getting ready to climb out of the car here for the Factory Stock 50 Pro Mod Finale. Thank y'all for coming, but give a hand to Doug Vick Jr. in car number 4V. Well, Doug, another Saturday night special, and you're standing here in Victory Lane, and this thing was on a rail tonight.
It was fast for sure. That was probably the hardest it's been to drive, but it was fast.
How about the 3-wide battle the first 7 or 8 laps, you and Kyle Cummings and Trent Humphrey, man, that's got to be a lot of fun.
It's a whole lot of fun. They leave plenty of room. I tried to leave room out there for them, so we didn't wad nothing up.
Did you have fun tonight racing the limited? And I told the fans earlier, man, it's just weird you not being in a factory stock. Come on now.
Oh, it's fun. We'll be back with a factory stock. I got to thank Mr. Leo Noble for letting me drive his limited. I hate we have bad luck like that, but we'll be back next week. I think we got it headed to the front now.
Turned into an open wheel driver on us over here.
I like them a little better, I guess.
Yeah. Let's hear about all the great folks that help you out, Doug.
I got to thank Big Show, my dad, Wayne, Brandon, Cody, Bob, everybody that helps me and Stormy.
Trying to remember the name of the race fan just walked by up there. He's one of your biggest fans, always wears your shirt. He said, "You can't be stopped." That's what he yelled after the race was over. You can't be stopped, Doug.
I hope not.
Congratulations to you, Doug.
Thank you.
Give it up for him, ladies and gentlemen, the 5-time track champion here at Ark-La-Tex Speedway and the former Cajun Classic winner, Doug Vick Jr. scores the win tonight in commanding fashion. Well, Jimmy, Jimbo, I told all the fans, you've been the one to beat over at 67 tonight, man. Old Lynn was giving you all you were worth up top, and Brad Calhoun had her singing around the bottom.
Oh, yes, sir. I knew they was there. I got a good slide job on, what's his name, 26 car.
Patrick Lynn.
Patrick Lynn there. I knew he was there, and I seen that. I thought that was him sticking his nose under me, but, man, I don't think any of us had anything for Carver there. He was rolling.
That seems to be kind of the story of his year, though. I mean, every time he's out front, man, something bad seems to happen to him every time. But, man, let's talk about this race car. I mean, it's been awfully good. It's been set on KILL since the last couple of years anyway around the Ark-La-Tex. It has to feel good, though, man, to get to here to this racetrack. First time the hobby stocks are here. Had to have been a lot of fun from where you were sitting because it was a lot of fun from where I was sitting.
Oh, yeah, I had a blast. I love racing with these guys. We can race door to door like that and never touch.
Let's say about this class. I mean, you've been a huge advocate about this class, trying to get these things to, get more cars out here to the racetrack anyway. I mean, what do you have to say to these guys, maybe trying to build one of these cars?
Just throw something together and come on. We want y'all to come on.
More or less, you appreciate the competition. Let's hear about
yes, sir.
Let's hear about all the great folks that help you out in the race car.
I got to thank my wife. She's been with me this third night this weekend. We've been to the racetrack. She's been right there supporting me, helping me work on it, get it ready. Right Way Machine Shop. Clint over there takes care of me. Livingston Trucking, they're with me every year. Matt Ralston Trucking.
Outstanding performance tonight, man. Well earned, well deserved for Jimbo.
Thanks, sir.
Give it up for race fans. Jamie Jimbo Clayton scores your hobby stock win tonight. The best to ever do it in the form of Chris Hennigan. Dalton Faulkner had a fantastic run tonight. Y'all be sure to give him some noise when he climbs out here in just a second. The reigning 67 Speedway Texarkana track champion, 11 wins a year ago. This is the biggest one. Give it up for him, race fans. Brandon Brown in 32. Hey. Feels good, doesn't it?
Hell yeah. Excuse my language.
Hey, you drove a flawless race tonight, Brandon, man. You had it cooking up top. You never budged off the top shelf other than one time you had to dive through lap traffic. You got to know at the back of your mind, Chris Hennigan's down there working at the bottom of the racetrack. You got to your mind that Chris, one of the best to ever do it.
Man, I was worried about them restarts. Chris was really good, and I knew he'd drive me clean, and I could see him there, but I just held my line and did what I had to do.
What are you telling yourself behind the car just to hit your marks? I mean, you have the car that can win this race, obviously. It had to feel pretty good from where you were sitting. You only made one mistake, I think. It was like on lap 46. You bobbled in the entry to 1 and 2. They picked up the slack on you. What were you thinking at that juncture of the race?
I just didn't want to make a mistake that they could reveal on.
How much does this mean to you, Brandon? I know, obviously, your emotion says a lot, but, you had a great, stellar performance last season. 2018 was a great year for you. But to win one of these races, I know you've won the SmackDown before, but, man, this has to be up there.
Man, this is up there. I've wanted to win here so bad. I've never won at Ark-La-Tex. This is the first time, and it's a big race.
Seriously?
That's it.
Wow. Your first time ever. Does it feel as good as you thought it would?
Got 4 seconds to Justin Whitehead, and he's standing right there.
It's, I guess, for the Outlaw Stable and Best Engines, I guess that combo, again, is victorious here in Vivian. Let's hear about all the great folks that help you out in the race car.
Man, Club 20, this thing's on dig. Best Engines, it runs flawless. Pro 1 transmission built me a brand new transmission. I just put it in Thursday. My help being A&T Delivery, Thompson Motorsports. Thompson Motorsports for putting the show on. Outlaw Race Cars, Justin. My wife, my kid, everybody. This is a good one.
You could park the car right now. You'd probably be happy the rest of the year, but I know you're not going to let that happen. We'll see you back here for the Cajun Classic later in the year and for the 10th. Great run tonight, man. Very well deserved. Congratulations on your first ever win at Ark-La-Tex for 4,000 tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Give it up for him, ladies and gentlemen. Brandon Brown scores his first ever win tonight at Ark-La-Tex, and he gets 4,000 for his effort. I know your wife's going to be pretty happy, too. It's 4,000 shopping money right there, buddy. He's had 2 or 3 different cars in the last year. I tell you, Ricky, this thing just isn't good at Boot Hill. You got 3 wins there this year. Your top qualifier points last weekend at the Hill. And, man, I tell you, I know you'd like to walk out of there with the money, but you get $1,500 for your efforts tonight. This thing's set on kill everywhere you go.
Well, it's been pretty good all year. I just wasn't on the wheel last week.
I'll say the driver's pretty good, too, though. Come on now. Give yourself some credit, Ricky.
We was okay tonight. I'm sorry I got into Sean. That was just a racing deal. He slowed up, and I hate it once we wheel hopped. It was over with. I really hate it for Sean.
How's your mindset after you have the factory stock? As good as I know we talked about this a little bit over the last several weeks, but when the factory stock was so good last year and you come out, you just haven't had any luck. Do you kind of just come out here and drive this limited a little more PO'd anyway? I don't know. I mean, it just seems like you're really on the edge on this limited because trying to make up for the misfortune in the factory stock.
Well, I was actually trying to not make no mistakes and not screw up, to tell you the truth. I didn't know where to run on the racetrack. These cars run a little different groove, but it turned out we was running around top anyway.
What is it in the factory stock right now? Is there anything you can just pinpoint and put your finger on? I mean, what is it?
We've had a whole lot of little problems that we've been chasing all year, and we're about to get the bug out. The car was really pretty good.
Yeah, it was.
You know, it was pretty good tonight. I just, you know, one of them deals, I made a mistake.
That class is so ultra competitive as well. 76 of them tonight. I mean, it's a who's who out here. Of course, you're the cream of that crop, man. Let's hear about all the great folks who help you out in this limited modified program.
First, Joe Best, Twin City Towing, Jason Ingles, IRP, DK Powder Coat and TSK Designs, and JCT Auto Sales, DRS Racing Shocks.
I think you're as good as you once were, you're good as you ever were. Congratulations to you tonight, Ricky.
Thank you.
Give it up for him, ladies and gentlemen, from Longview, Texas. The very well-respected Ricky Ingles scores your limited modified win tonight.